Welcome back to Beyond the DJ Booth podcast. I'm Brian B. This is
Joseph Eagles Bunn.
Full name. Love
Junior.
it. Oh, Junior. I even added the Junior in there. Wow.
Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, this is for private event DJs. If you're new to this podcast, we just like to talk about things that aren't on the regular socials, right? Like stuff that's kind of deeper, such as, music we're listening to, random facts about us that maybe we just don't get a chance to talk to everybody that's out there, and you can hear a little bit about us on that. War stories, I don't know, just
Answer
a little bit of everything.
from
Gear
the
stuff,
listeners, gear stuff, travel hacks.
you name it.
We've
We
done
got
it all. We're doing it all.
So we just got out of Christmas. We're in the new year. I'm sure as adults, we're buying our own gifts in a lot of cases.
Yes,
Right?
1,000%.
So I thought of this idea of like, what's in your Amazon cart right now? Like something that's been on there for a while that you've been thinking about getting, but you just haven't pulled the trigger for whatever reason. Is there
Right.
something that just like stands out for you?
There were two.
Okay.
The first one, I actually pulled the trigger, owned it for a week, used it for a week, returned it.
Okay.
The Elgato teleprompter.
Didn't work. Because you were hype on this for a
I
hot
was
minute.
real hype on it. It did work, but if you see all my new videos that are getting ready to come out, these kind of talking head videos, my head is so big, it's just a head. There's no body because it has to still hook to a monitor
Got it.
because it's using Elgato software. Now, could I have moved the thing way back? My whole point was I want to be able to self-shoot and self-teleprompt.
Right.
Whereas now when I use a teleprompter, Saquon's usually here. It's an iPad teleprompter. If I mess up, I'll say he'll stick his finger in the thing and just roll it back a couple lines.
Got it.
Because you have a touch screen.
Yeah.
This was not a touch screen.
Okay.
So you had to have it physically USB-C connected to a computer and then click on the computer to go back a couple lines. I even tried the voice active mode. Didn't work very well.
Fail.
Return.
Was that an Amazon?
It was an Amazon purchase, $300.
Okay.
Got my money back.
Okay. So now what's the other one?
The other one,
Which we're going to show.
right, we can show it. This is cheap, but it's just been sitting there for a minute. But maybe 3 or 4 years ago, me and the boys went to Disney World, and we didn't buy anything because none of us really like Mickey's. We're not like Randy. He likes Mickey and all that stuff. But the Star Wars stuff, as a child, and even now, I still think those first 3 Star Wars movies are the end all be all.
Right.
In 1978 or whenever, when I was
Right.
7 years old and that came out, it changed my life.
Yeah.
And so we bought these, what you consider the closest thing to a real lightsaber. I mean,
Okay.
it's heavy.
Yeah.
It's pure.
Didn't you have it in the office here forever?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
But it was just sitting on my desk. And
Yeah.
then I built that 3rd floor at my new house
Right.
with this kind of man cave with video games.
Right.
And big screen TV, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, man, these would be cool on the wall. So I bought a lightsaber holder to vertically put them up on the wall. Because
Okay.
Davis has one too.
Okay.
And I thought they would look cool on each side of this picture of this signed thing I have from Jared Leto.
And you did pull the trigger on this, or you haven't yet?
I have not yet pulled the trigger, but I feel like that's the look I'm going for in that picture.
I
right
like
there.
it. I like it.
What do you think?
Well, for $12, I mean, you
I don't
really
know why.
can't-
I guess because it was on my desk forever, and I had it on a desk mount. I had to justify the $12 purchase. What have you got? I can't wait to see what yours is.
Oh man,
It's gonna be
So-
like a tooth cleaner or something.
No, this is
A
like
hairbrush.
This is excessive and ridiculous, and I'll never pull the trigger.
Oh,
on this.
you told me about this. You still haven't pulled the trigger?
No way, man! My
What is
wife
it,
would
$3
kill me.
grand?
$5,000. First of all, Amazon.
Is it really on Amazon?
You can buy a tiny house on Amazon.
Stop.
I'm dead serious. Obviously, you got to schedule the shipping
Sure,
and do all
sure.
of that kind of stuff. But I see this at the airport all the time when I'm in
What's
the
it called
lounge.
again?
It's like a noise isolation booth.
Oh,
where you
yeah,
can
yeah,
go in
yeah.
and work.
Yeah.
The audio is pristine. You don't get distracted. It's noise cancellation in there. So if you're doing Zooms or you're doing whatever, it's got all the plugs in it. It's a
this
mobile,
exact brand, the one you've seen?
Yep.
Well, how
It's
do you pay? They just have a swiper on it or something?
As far as what?
Don't you?
No,
Do you have to pay at the airport?
no,
It's free.
No, it's free when you go into the lounges.
Give me an example. Oh, the
So you go into
lounges.
the Amex
Delta
lounge,
Lounge
the
or
Delta
Amex.
Lounge. They got them, and not in
You know
everyone.
what's funny? I say Amex, you say Amex.
Yeah, I know. I don't know
Cannon
what.
says Amex too.
Does
I
he?
think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So they have these in these lounges.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about this one, actually all of them, I think, they have wheels. So like if you were going to do it, like we have an upstairs area where we shoot content and stuff, and I can wheel that wherever I need to, get it in the closet if I need to get it out of the way. But I feel like I'd be so productive because when I go to those lounges, I close it up. I'm like the most productive I've ever been. And I don't know, $5,000 is just a little much for me right now. I can't do it. But I've ran into so many times where like I don't have I work out of my home.
Yeah.
So it's like not soundproofed correctly.
It's distracting. And you have a small child.
Right. This would allow me to do it. So
this was very similar to this thing that me and Saquon were going to buy for the office because he records a lot of hip hop records.
Sure.
So we were going to buy this, like, it was like basically a vocal booth, an isolation booth.
Right.
Very similar. You know what I mean? But they were, again, it was $3,000 to $5,000.
It's crazy.
Maybe more.
Crazy. So it's still sitting in my cart. One day somebody will donate towards it. If you want to donate towards it, I'll take it.
GoFundMe for Brian. What's it called? The Nook?
The Nook, I think is what it is. Yeah.
Give Brian a Nook, y'all.
I'll put it in the link in there. You can gift it to me. Gift it to me for my birthday. So
wow, that's good. Wait, when is your birthday?
February.
Oh,
so it'll be about a month later.
Speaking of birthdays, your boy Saquon's birthday is tomorrow.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yep.
How old? 28?
28.
God dang, he's a baby
man.
boy, bro.
Young man.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a fuller beard than I do.
He does.
It's not right now.
he went to the goatee
We
for
did goatee style.
Now he's got like 70s porn stash.
Yeah.
Is that kind of where we're going with?
Making it sexy.
Oh, dude, bringing
sexy back.
That's amazing. Speaking of bringing things back.
Okay.
Great segue.
Yes, it was. Good. God, you're getting good at this.
What songs are you been bringing back? You know, like we spent like an hour, maybe a little, actually longer than
we
that.
did.
About 90 minutes.
That was fun, man.
It was fun.
I wasn't trying to be selfish, but I was a little bit selfish because I know that you truly spend more time working and digging on music than I do.
Right.
Like it's if I had a goal for this year, it will be that.
That's cool.
Right.
I like
and
that.
And I've resubscribed to a lot of the pools now.
Right.
So it's kind of like a thing you're paying for, and you know that you should be using it.
Yes.
I felt like if I subscribed to 4 or 5,
and
knew I was spending $150 plus a month, that I would get in there more instead of letting them lapse. So
totally.
I did that already. So now that's my goal going forward. But you and I went through, and we were basically, and it's impossible to do it in an hour or even an hour and a half. We got through like excuse me. But I came up with like 2 or 3 songs, and a lot of stuff I get inspired by because, you know, I have a little bit of financial interest in the spin studio.
Okay.
So I go to a bunch of different classes every week, and, you know, so they play 13 songs, the full songs. Sometimes they'll play an edit, but normally it's like a radio version.
Sure.
Right? And so I'm bringing back Cyclone. You move your body like
you gotta play it, Saquon.
Yeah, give us
just a little bit of it.
Give us a little tidbit of that.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, did you happen to watch the Thanksgiving parade?
No.
Bro.
In Raleigh?
No, the national one.
Okay.
The
The Macy's.
one.
Okay, okay. I didn't know.
Have you ever been to that in real life?
I've never been.
Even all those years you lived there.
Dude, it's like going to, people would say
A
it when
shit show.
Yeah.
It would be like going to Times Square
for New Year's Eve. It's the
shit
worst.
show. Okay.
So no, you don't.
If you're
do
in
it.
New York.
But my wife's, she had an office that was
they overlooked it.
So for 2 years, I think we went and they
to
had
the parade.
It was all catered. I mean, we're way up there.
Yeah,
We've got bathrooms, amenities.
Sure.
You can't leave
I went to
until
that
it's all
office
over.
with you.
Oh, that's right. We
Yeah.
did take you in there. Yeah.
Super
So
dope.
it's like great. The views are awesome.
Yeah.
But you know, you're not leaving until it's over.
Yeah.
But at least you're not freezing your,
You're freezing your ass off.
Yeah.
You got food, a little hot cocoa bar.
Totally.
My point was, they basically, once they pull up to the area where like Al Roker and whoever's the MC, T-Pain did like a 5-minute mega mix.
Wow.
He shut the whole street down. It was great.
So he was one of the featured.
You know, like it'll be like, it wasn't the Jonas Brothers, but it was like, it's usually like C-list.
Right.
To me, T-Pain is A-list.
Oh,
like
I
he
agree.
has a trillion hits.
Well, so's Jonas Brothers.
And it wasn't Jonas Brothers.
Okay.
It was like the Monas Brothers. like it was that dude. Like the act before him was that dude Walker Hayes.
Oh yeah.
Date night at the Applebee's.
Fancy.
Yeah, but he had
Fancy
changed the
like,
word
fancy
for
like.
like Santa Claus and a Christmas tree and a something.
Yeah, he was
It
hot for about 2 minutes.
maybe 2 minutes. But then I started going down this rabbit hole of trying to figure out, because you're on a float that is usually like Tyson Chicken or like Legos.
Right.
You know, did Legos or whoever pay Walker Hayes? Did he get $100,000?
Right.
Did he get $10,000 or did he get $0? Never really got an answer. But my point was T-Pain
Killed
ripped the shit up.
And he played Cyclone.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Cyclone's a little racy for a child's parade, but but he definitely all I do is win.
And since you've heard it, have you brought it into a show?
100,000%.
And it's done well?
It works. I mean, I don't need to play the whole thing, but we never do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Play a little smidgen.
Yeah.
I got that from Volare, and then, or maybe I was kind of sparked by the parade, and then I heard it at Volare at the Spin Studio, and then I was in love with Nelly Furtado, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
And Give It To Me, I heard again in a spin class, and I was like, oh, I got to bring this back. Because I'm a Timbaland fanatic, number
Hit the
one.
beat. Oh, yeah. That's iconic. In that era.
Absolutely, whatever era. I'm the worst at knowing the year of the song. Can you give me a roundabout?
I would say
I'll make Saquon
2000s. So it's
Will
20
you look
years
that
old.
up? Give it to me. What year it came out? Just come back to us with that. Thank you.
And are you incorporating that one?
You know what that always reminds me of when I asked Theo, do you watch Theo Vaughn? When I asked Saquon to look up something?
Yeah.
Do you ever watch his clips? He'll be like, look up a baby monkey riding a tractor. Like whoever the lookup guy is will literally find something.
Yes. His search history.
It's insane.
Not going to be good.
2007.
Not gonna be good.
2007.
Oh, yeah. All right. So 2000s. I was in it.
You were in it.
Are you playing that one? Have you played that one since?
100% works.
Okay.
Because it's mid-tempo. It's like over
115,
100.
something
exactly.
in that, right?
And
Yeah.
that people don't make a lot of songs like that anymore.
Yeah. No, that's
So
a
I
good
love that stuff. Timbaland's like my guy.
one. Oh, yeah.
Him, Swiss Beats, like those were like the people that I loved.
Totally. So when we were going through that list, I pulled a bunch for you to check out.
Okay.
One of them you said failed, but
to be fair, I felt like it was in this 3-hour set on Saturday.
Yeah.
I felt like I had them. Listen, don't get me wrong. The floor didn't clear, but like even Saquon was like, "Why?" And I was like, "Brian B told me that this was going to go off."
It does at the right. You got to place it correctly.
I know. I did, and to be fair, I don't think I had it in the right sector.
Right.
Yeah, crowd wasn't right.
Or he said he thought they were too young or old. Young.
Yeah.
Remember they were kids.
Yeah, they were
young.
Yeah,
They were in their 20s.
Okay. Well, I feel
So
like
a
this song came out in like 2010.
Give me a year on this.
So this
All right,
is
give us a sample.
So
first
here's
of
the thing, though. Before you play,
Okay,
the
wait.
key is you have to make an edit of it, and I'm happy
You
to
did.
share. Yeah, you. So you, but
No,
the
we
thing
don't
is,
share music, Brian.
Yeah.
That's illegal.
You can't do it
This
from
is
the
kid
verse.
talking about.
You got to do it from the pre-chorus because that's where the hook is. But you need to be in a section of music where it's a bunch of sing-alongs. It shouldn't be the first one that you go out there with.
I think that's what happened.
It's got to be like in the
2008.
middle of
I see
that.
what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do
Just
know
like
what you mean.
continuing on.
Go
All
on.
right, go ahead.
2008, by the way.
All right, so yeah, they're just not that old.
Yeah, but I'm saying if they were 25, that's 16 years ago. They would have been 9.
Okay. The beat's great too. 'Cause you kinda go into
Look,
hip-hop.
he goes off.
I literally just,
I'm gonna try it again tonight. Like it's coming.
Yeah.
I'm not.
don't give up on it yet.
No,
You
don't
got-
think I retired it because tonight at that Nace party,
Yeah.
you're gonna hear Jordan Sparks.
Okay. It did. I used it this weekend. It went over.
And
I
it
actually
went
sent you the
crazy.
clip.
Yeah,
And people are going nuts over it. So
Okay.
it was a really
Okay.
good one. And then the other one,
Mhm.
which I think there's a lot of like EDM kind of older, I don't know, 2010s.
I love
9s.
that shit.
Yeah. So this
If
is,
it's David Guetta,
yeah.
Calvin Harris, Zed, you're gonna hear 3 songs from all those.
Totally.
You might hear 9 songs from those 3
Right.
DJs,
Right.
producers.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
how
yeah.
good that era of
Totally.
EDM was.
Well, and you brought up in a previous episode recently, Jenny on the Block by J-Lo. But
That's
this
my
one's
girl.
kind of a sleeper.
Okay.
This is one of her more dance records, I guess. It's Waiting for Tonight.
Yeah, I love.
I
this.
literally play it just as we're going to play the sample here where the drop hits on
Yeah.
the chorus.
Yeah.
And I only play the chorus. I never even get to a verse
wow.
because it's that, the way you can, if you cut it correctly, that's the only thing people remember is
Yeah.
that chorus.
Yeah.
And
I couldn't tell you one lyric from that song, but I know waiting for tonight.
so it's all the O's also
Oh,
with that.
okay.
Yeah, so and anytime you drop it right there,
Yeah.
they're just singing the rap every time.
But what's the set? Like, what's right before that?
Any
Pitbull into the outro beat, or Pitbull the vocal and then straight into that? Because like,
yeah, so that's kind of
waiting for tonight.
Yes,
Okay. I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that.
even some flow rider stuff you could play
Yeah,
before
right,
that,
right.
like
I
any of
got
that
you.
kind of stuff beforehand.
I love that.
So
Good stuff.
those are some throwbacks to incorporate into your sets if you're not doing it already. Just some ideas.
I mean, I think, man, that's been one of the things that I'm, like I said, going through here at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Especially because I had those two industry parties. And
Right.
I just, you cannot play those like a wedding. Those
Right.
people are so sick of our sets. I don't care how
I agree.
good you think you are, like they've heard it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so if you have to play an industry set, you got to jump off onto stuff like this that's
Yeah.
been forgotten.
Right.
And I literally named the crate Forgotten Bangers, like, because these were great songs.
Oh, totally.
Great song.
Yeah. Let's get
Anyway.
into a question.
Okay.
What do we got?
I forgot. You read it.
Okay. This is coming to us from Houston,
Say his
Texas.
name first.
Oh, man.
Arhelio de Leon.
De Leon. I could get that part.
I think
How'd
it's
you say the first
Arhelio.
name? Arhelio?
Yep.
All right. All right.
Yep.
I want to know more about behind the scenes as a multi-op. I'm interested in learning about day-to-day tasks, staying organized, and all the non-DJs required stuff to keep the business moving forward. I think you're king at this, so I'll let you.
Ironically, I get this question a lot. I think it's because a lot of people that are in this line of work are still carrying on with a 9-to-5 job, whatever it is. Could be electrician, could be a plumber, could be a realtor, could be a software salesman, could be high-level executive at blah, blah, blah research firm, could be financial planning, who knows? And they are, everybody is always worried to leave financial security. I know how
1,000%.
much I'm going to make a week. I know I've got health insurance. I got this 401k. It's terrifying, right? But I think that a question like this sometimes stems from, what am I going to do all day? Because what they're used to doing is working for somebody all day,
Yeah.
and then coming home and scrambling through emails, prepping music, blah, 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 from let's say 6 to 10 or maybe midnight, and then going to bed and then doing it all over. Like, but I can tell you this, and Brian would say the exact same thing. There has never been a day that I've woken up and been like, damn, I'm bored. Not since I was a little boy. Can I truly remember waking up and having that thought of, man, I'm bored. And so to answer, I mean, I think it goes everything from, and I don't even do the admin stuff anymore, and my days are still packed, but everything from the admin of checking the emails, responding to the emails, setting up Zoom consultations, sending out contracts, taking in money, depositing money, to prepping for shows, downloading music, finding new music, making all the crates for these specific shows. To, for me, I would say I probably spend 2 of the 5 weekdays doing this, shooting something. Now, it might only be 2 or 3 hours, but then I've got to either send it to somebody to edit or edit it myself. Then I spend a ton of time watching myself back, and I always watch it back in like 2.5 speed or 2 speed, just because I'm like so tired of seeing myself.
Right.
And then you have to schedule it or put it out.
Right.
And so I would say probably half my week is some sort of content creation or curation. And then the rest is basically admin for just normal business. Maybe let's call it 5% is some sort of gear work. I often roll stuff in here and either take it apart, kind of rearrange stuff, put it back together, make something easier. You know, I just changed to the battery powered moving heads.
Yeah.
So got rid of power cord and having to find power for those. Got rid of the dongle, you know, little transmitters and stuff. So I'm always kind of like messing around with gear, but I mean, that's 5% of my time. What about you? I mean,
well, I think.
would you ever say you're bored?
No. Well, I was just gonna say to that point. I think this is true about any entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
That you think hey, I want to do my own business so I can have my own schedule.
Yeah.
And, be
More
sleep
free
in.
time.
Yeah, exactly. No, any entrepreneur will tell you that you actually are working more in the business than you ever have.
100%.
Right?
1,000%.
So I think for me, what has happened is, or at least it did initially, like my creative side took a back seat because I was so focused on all of the business stuff, which would be networking,
Sure.
admin tasks, all the things you kind of mentioned.
Sure.
That I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not even the whole reason why I wanted to do this is so I could actually spend more time like in the music and perfecting my craft.
Yeah.
So now I've actually had to like segment my day out to go, okay, this Monday is only about this thing, or sales is happening on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
I can't even like just willy-nilly it anymore. There's just so much that you can do in the business. If you don't schedule yourself, you can really be up a creek without a paddle if you don't really have it all kind of figured out.
Well, I also think though, then you get so busy that you become a delegator.
Right.
And the best delegators are the people that do start to regain some of their time, that are able to go on vacation and not have to worry or be on their phone, that are able to dig into music and only play the shows for the clientele that's right for them. That's when you truly start to turn the corner, I feel like.
Totally.
But I mean, there's there's
going to be hats for a while.
That's 100%. And
right?
if you're not willing to do that, you're not going to be successful.
No.
And I don't care if it's popsicle stand on the corner or a DJ business. Like you have to give it every bit of your time, attention. You're going to miss, your friends' weddings. You're going to miss some dance recitals or soccer games, and then it turns the corner. It will turn the corner at a certain point,
right?
Especially if you allow it to. You release some of the control. You let other people do the shows that you don't want to do or that are not suited for you, your personal brand. It will turn the corner.
One of the things we talked about on our mentoring call last night was AI tools.
Yeah.
And I think that those are something that I'm exploring right now to go, okay, what can this do for me that will give me back some time that before now I was having to put a lot of brain power towards.
Sure.
And now you don't really need to as much if you leverage these things. But you got to look into them. You got to try them out. You got to buy the teleprompter from Amazon and see if it works or not. Those different things. But eventually, if you can use these tools, they can regain you back some of your time so that you can.
I mean, dude, think about Buzzsprout, where we host this, right?
Right.
And think about your last podcast where you weren't using Buzzsprout, or maybe it wasn't even around, or it wasn't. It wasn't.
I don't think.
It listens to the podcast, makes it sound better, gives us 6 titles.
Yeah.
Writes out the entire show, and then even transcribes what me and you just said.
Right.
In probably, it looks like it takes about 5 minutes to scan it.
Right. Crazy.
I mean, if I had to write that show description, I'd have to listen to the episode, remember what we said.
Yeah.
And it's actually kind of humorous. Like it's kind of got some like funny, but yeah, man, even something like Buzzsprout, right? That we host this podcast on. And you didn't have it for the Travel Blend DJ. We heard about it through Richie Stedman and some other people that are big into podcasting. Scans the file. Not only does it make it sound better, gives me all the show notes, and then transcribes the entire thing. That would have taken me hours.
Right.
It takes it about 3 to 5 minutes probably to scan the whole episode.
Yeah.
Write it out. It's funny.
Totally.
I'd maybe change. That's what I was saying. I maybe change 5 words.
Right.
Like I'll take out like some sentence that kind of sounds not like us.
Yeah.
And then boom, that's what I use for the YouTube description and the podcast description.
Gotcha.
And they wrote it
Yeah.
in 5 minutes. It would have taken me an hour.
Right.
Because first I have to listen to it. Then I got to make notes on it.
Right.
Then I got to make the notes make sense into 2 paragraphs.
Right.
Let's call it. Anyway.
And technology is moving so fast.
Yes. Game changers.
Like these things, if you just keep pulse on it, you never know when one of these things can help you regain some of this efficiency back and or give you more efficiency in what your processes are and make it easier.
It's all about time, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I saw Mojax posted this video the other day, and it was about his 360 camera. He was like, I hate it. And he was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to use it. And I said, listen, man, you hit record. Just set it up by your decks. You hit record and let it run the whole party. You take the files, you send them to an editor on Fiverr. You pay him $40. You make them go through it, and you say, find anything funny, interesting, cute, alarming, cringy, and send me 10 clips, and 5 are going to be usable. Done. You're overthinking it.
Yeah.
And all these guys, this guy's full of shit, $40. Learn how to use it. And I'm like, dude, my time is worth more than sitting there all afternoon trying to learn how to. It's proprietary software on the 360
Oh, I'm
camera.
aware. Yeah.
It ain't CapCut.
Yeah.
So number 1, I got to learn how to use that now. Number 2, I got to scroll through 2 different angles. What are me and Saquon doing? What is the audience doing? What is oh, that's funny. This girl's coming up.
Right.
Like, why would I waste my time doing that?
Right.
Like, how much money did that cost me sitting here for a half a day trying to dig through that footage?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Solid no.
Anyway, my time is more valuable than that. And that's what you have to think about.
Right.
Anyway.
Thank you, Arhelio.
Arhelio.
All right. So
De Leon.
Hope that helps.
That's a beautiful name, by the way. Houston, Texas. Shout out.
If you are enjoying this podcast, we would love to hear some feedback because I feel like Jeff Brown is carrying us on the review front. So we need to spice it up with some people giving us some feedback.
Where do they leave it?
That's a great question. I
think you can leave it on any platform
that
you're listening on, Apple, Spotify, whatever, or beyondthedjbooth.com.
That I know you can do there for sure.
Facts.
All right. Till the next one. We'll see you.
Thanks, y'all. See ya.